Hey guys, welcome back. As usual, today's video is going to be a bit different. We're not talking about builds, not talking about gacha, and not going into anything too technical. This is more like a weekly reflection about the current state of Ragnarok Mobile. Right now, we're in a bit of a break period because of the Idul Fitri holiday, especially for players in Indonesia and other Muslim countries. The Magic Prison tournament is temporarily paused and will continue again next week. And honestly, this season feels a bit different for me. If I'm being real, this season is more about maintaining rank, rather than pushing higher, not because I don't want to compete, but because it's becoming harder and harder to push forward in the current state of the game. We all can see it. New systems keep coming, new upgrades keep stacking, and most importantly, P2W items keep flooding the game like crazy. At some point it makes you think, are we really competing based on skill, strategy, and teamwork? Or are we just trying to keep up with the latest upgrades? And that brings me to a question I want to ask you guys. Be honest, do you still wonder who is going to be rank 1 in this Magic Prison season? Or do you already know the answer? Because if you're a veteran player, or someone who has been around for a while like me, I think deep down, you already know. The answer is 99.9% Dutchmill team from LGSpirit. And before anything, no disrespect at all to this team, I personally know them, and their lineup is basically built from Legend Guild, which is already known as one of the most dominant and famous guilds from Thailand. Right now, they are arguably the strongest guild, period. The difference in firepower is just overwhelming. If you want to beat them in a normal setting, you need perfect coordination, perfect timing, high mechanical skill, and even then, it's not about winning. It's about just trying to hold them at bay. And to be fair, we all know their dedication. The amount of time they put into the game, the long hours of practice, discussion, preparation, it's honestly admirable. Even me personally, I wouldn't even try to compare myself to that level. But here's where the problem starts. The direction of the game updates right now seems to be leaning towards amplifying exactly that kind of advantage. With the constant release of P2W content and players who have unlimited BCC to invest, the gap just keeps getting wider and wider. And that's where things start to feel a bit off. Now back to Dutchmill. We already know a bit about him. And once again, I'm saying all of this with full respect. But with the current rate of P2W content being released, and the pace that players are expected to keep up with, it's honestly very hard for casual players like me to follow through. Every update brings new systems, new upgrades, new resources to chase. And most of them are not cheap. You either invest a lot of time, or a lot of money. Meanwhile, players like him and his team, they are able to keep up with everything, almost instantly. Every new item, they get it. Every new system, they complete it. Every new resource, they max it. There's no delay, no hesitation, no maybe later. It's just full access to everything available in the game. And when you stack all of that together, it becomes what I would call brute force progression. Because at that level, with that kind of investment, your character is just built differently. Even with decent strategy, even with good coordination, the effort required just to take down his character once or twice is already extremely high. And let's be real here, to even have a chance of taking him down consistently, you probably need another Sultan level, ID, someone with a similar level of investment, similar level of gear, similar level of resource completion. Without that, most of the time, you're not trying to win, you're just trying to survive, delay, or contain. And again, this is just one player. Now imagine facing him and his full team together, all with strong builds, strong coordination, and similar levels of progression. But once again, I want to be very clear. They are not just winning because they spend. They scrim regularly, they practice, they discuss strategies. Their reaction time is fast, their execution is clean. Their fundamentals are very solid, so it's not fair to say they are just buying their way to victory. But at the same time, the reality is they are winning with a much bigger advantage and more privilege compared to normal players. They have the ability to maximize every system immediately, while most players have to choose what to prioritize, what to skip, and what to slowly build over time. And in a competitive environment like Magic Prison, that difference becomes very, very significant. This is just my personal opinion. Feel free to disagree, feel free to challenge it, but from what I see, their level of spending and consistency puts them in a very strong position to maintain dominance, especially as consistent winners from around Season 14 until now. And when the gap becomes this big, it naturally raises questions about the balance of competition itself. And now, this brings us back to the bigger question, the role of the developers in all of this. Based on data mentioned by AI sources like Gemini, ROM-C reportedly had more than 5 million downloads since launch, and as of around March 2026, it's estimated that only about 15,000 to 25,000 active players are still consistently participating in content like War of Imperium. That number is not small, but compared to the starting point, it clearly shows a significant decline. And if we look at the current trend, it's very clear that the player base is slowly thinning out, especially in the mid-tier segment. A lot of these players are not quitting gaming, they're just moving to other Ragnarok titles like Ragnarok Origin or Ragnarok Online variants, looking for a more balanced or fresh experience. Now let's talk about regions. We all know that Indonesia, Philippines, and Thailand are the main hotspots for Ragnarok Mobile Eternal Love. But sadly, from what we can see, Indonesian players are declining the fastest, and this is something we already understand. Indo players are known for going hard early, spending big, chasing limited items like mounts, pushing progression fast. But the downside is, burnout comes fast too, so the cycle becomes short. Big investment, fast progress, and then suddenly they disappear. Meanwhile, Philippines players have a different approach. They tend to buy existing IDs from retiring players, optimize them, and if a better account becomes available, they simply sell and upgrade again. It's more like a market cycle strategy. Thailand players are similar, but with one big difference. There are a lot more consistent spenders, players who are willing to continuously invest into the game long term, not just one-time spending. That's why their presence at the top level is always very strong. And then we look at the developers. From an outside perspective, it feels like, as long as the revenue is still flowing, there is no strong reason for them to change anything. Don't fix what's not broken. That's probably the mindset. So what happens? They continue releasing new systems, new upgrades, new candies for whales. Meanwhile, older jobs get neglected. Balance issues remain unresolved, and the gap between players keeps getting wider. Everything is driven by one thing: business sustainability through spending. As long as players are still willing to spend, the system continues. And that brings us back again to the same question. Is this direction really sustainable for the game in the long run? Now, let's talk about something bigger. An era after Dutchmill. As we know, this game has already been running for around 8 years now. And honestly, it has had a very solid run. But at this point, with how far progression has gone, we have to be realistic. Don't expect a lot of new players coming in to revive the game. The gap is already too far apart, and it's extremely hard for new players to catch up with all the systems, all the upgrades, and all the investments required. And even now, if you pay attention, it feels like the Dutchmill team themselves are starting to challenge the game in a different way. You can see it from their latest scrim against Stancer's team. They even dropped a Linea, their main DPS, just to test a new AIS DPS setup. And even with that handicap, they are still winning. So it's no longer just about winning. It's like they are trying to create their own challenge, because the gap is already that big. And that leads to something I honestly can't stop thinking about. What happens when Dutchmill and his team eventually retire from ROM? Because let's be real, they are not just top players. They are also likely one of the biggest spenders, maybe even the backbone of the game's revenue. If they leave, ROM doesn't just lose a top team. It potentially loses a major source of income. So the real question becomes, who is going to step forward next? Not just to take rank 1, but to take over that level of commitment, spending, and dominance. Is there even anyone ready for that? Or are we slowly moving toward a point where the game starts to decline even faster? And the bigger question, will this game eventually shut down and we lose everything we've invested? Are the developers already preparing for that scenario? Or is something like ROM 3.0 going to replace our beloved Ragnarok Mobile Eternal Love? That's something I think we should really start thinking about. And that's going to be the discussion for next week. Stay tuned.